everybody, how's it going, and welcome back to another video about Assassin's Creed. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about Empire, since we've been talking about the Ezio collection a lot, so I wanted to head back to Empire and do a little bit of a discussion on that. So today I wanted to talk about the black box missions and how they're structured and how you could have that in Empire and make it a lot better. I've touched upon this before in I think a video about Assassinations and stuff like that, but I wanted to touch upon specifically black box missions today and kind of go in depth on my thoughts on how you know what, let's try again. So today I'm going to talk about my thoughts on black box missions precisely and how I think they could do it. So without further ado, let's just hop straight into the video. So black box missions are relatively new to Assassin's Creed. They've used them in some ways previously, like in Assassin's Creed 2 when you assassinate Rodrigo, you don't actually kill him, but you know what I mean, right? And the time when you go to Spain and you kill Cesare, but they're not really black box missions exactly. I don't know why I said they're actually not even like black box, they're just linear set. You know what? Scratch that. Fuck off. So black box missions are relatively new. They were in Unity and they're in Syndicate. If you don't know what black box mission is, just think of how the Assassinations are structured in those games. You have a certain area of the world, your target is in there, you have opportunities all around you, and you choose the way you want to get to your target and then get out. You can do it however the fuck you want. It doesn't matter. There aren't any restrictions other than that area that you have to stay in, and you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want. Now, I think they worked better in Unity. I think with Syndicate, they were very linear and very restricting, but I think even in Unity, it was too restricting. I think the perfect way to have black box missions is possibly similar to the Hitman games. Now, I can't completely say Assassin's Creed should be like the Hitman games, because there's a lot of differences between the two franchises. You can't just copy and paste over what Hitman does and expect it to work in Assassin's Creed. It just won't, and it will be strange. But with Assassin's Creed, there is some, it will work with what Hitman does, and that's, you have an area, you have about, 8 to 10 different opportunities that reveal themselves as you explore the area, as you, eavesdrop and stuff like that, do your assassiny things. And yeah, when you play Hitman, these opportunities reveal themselves to you. You don't sit on top of a perch and suddenly you have all these different mission objectives and you just follow the mission objective. You kind of work it out yourself. You track something and you kind of work out how you want to do it as well. So like, it could be like, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, you kill the guy. And you choose how you want to do each step. You don't necessarily follow. The game doesn't say do this. It goes, this is what you're trying to achieve. Now achieve it however you want. That's kind of what it does. It gives you the end goal, and then you reach the end goal however you feel like it, rather than the game telling you how to get to an end goal, because the game doesn't really tell, like in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, the game won't really tell you the end goal. It'll tell you what to do, and then you'll be like, oh, so that did this, and then you'll have killed your target, and it's like one step, target's dead. You can do, stealth, or you can do this other opportunity, and it's like, yeah, no, that's very restricting, especially for an Assassin's Creed game. You give us black box missions, then restrict us with the black box. It's very hand-holdy, and it doesn't let you do whatever you want. It does really basically tell you what to do, and it punishes you sometimes for doing what you want, because sometimes the area is so confined. When you try and do your own thing, it's like, oh, fuck you, you didn't do the mission to get the key, so you can't do this, or, oh, you need to blend and go in through the roof, and you tried to go through the front door. That's wrong. Fuck off. Like, but I want to do how I want to do it, right? The thing is, with Hitman, you don't even have to do the opportunities if you don't want to. You can do whatever the hell you want, and it's crazy. There's so many opportunities, such a huge area, so many different things you can do, so many gameplay features in Hitman that you really can do whatever you want, because you can just be like, oh, there's this random thing that's in the game that I can do. Let's use that to my advantage, and you can string different gameplay features together to get your target. And I think Assassin's Creed needs to kind of take from that. So the scenario that I kind of envisage is, you'd have a certain area of the world, you'd have your target in there, you'd, have guard patrol, stuff like that, and you would want to scout the area. Say, like, you could hide in a bale of hay, and that would take you into the compound. Like, that's the first step, trying to get into the area that your target is in. Once you've done that, now you need to find a way to get to your target. Perhaps, I don't want to say, because a big thing about Hitman is that they have the disguise feature. So when you kill someone, you disguise, and that allows you into certain areas. Now, I don't know whether that will work specifically for Assassin's Creed. However, you could use the blending feature to work to your advantage in this situation instead of disguises. So, you blend with people, and that will allow you to move through the crowds. Maybe if it's a market, you can then move through the crowd, like, you can blend pretending you're buying something, so you can, like, I never thought I'd say this, but you can tail your target, and, that kind of thing. And there's various ways that you could tackle it, and I think leaving it up to the player, and as you're kind of sitting there watching your target, you overhear two guards talking about something that reveals an opportunity to you, and it goes, oh, this is the thing, and they're like, okay, so how do I get to that? How do I do that? You pickpocket one of them, you find a map, it leads to this area that's like slightly not as guarded or something like that. You can use something as a distraction, you know, like throwing coins on the ground, like whistling, like, you know, throwing a rock or something. I don't know, something to distract guards, and then it's you kind of like now you're inside the building. Once you're inside the building, now you've got to get to your target, which it's a heavily guarded area. So, you know, blending with people will probably be out of the question at this point. You could still try it if you want to, but it's going to be a lot more difficult depending on possibly your skill level. Then, you know, you've got to try and find your way through this place to get to your target. And I think one thing we need to get removed in Assassin's Creed is the Eagle Pulse ability, Eagle Vision, Eagle Pulse thing that's just lets you see through walls. It's just a fucking wall hack, and it's the stupidest thing. It's such a cheat, and it ruins the game, because you want to try and locate your target, and you have to explore that area to locate your target. If you have a wall hack, you just hit Y or triangle, boom, you now know where your target is. That's it, done. Let's just go to him, kill him. It's so simple and easy, and that it ruins the gameplay, really, doesn't it? And ruins that whole feel of being an assassin. And you need to be strategic, you need to plan, you need to, you know, you have this layout of the area. You need to survey the surroundings, notice the guard patrols, make sure you don't get caught, that kind of thing. Again, if you want to, you can just sprint in there, kill everybody, and then try and get to your target. He'll be extremely heavily guarded, and, you know, it might impact the outcome of the assassination more. Maybe you'll get punished for it. Maybe, you know, maybe you won't get as much of a reward at the end, that kind of thing. Maybe you won't get the information you were looking for if it's a side assassination. Maybe you do those to get information. You won't get the correct information once. You have to do more of those. If you do them right, then you get more information, kind of thing like that. And you have to do less of them. So, like, say there's a main target, and to get to the main target, you have to get a certain amount of information. Now, doing a stealth assassination means you can interrogate your target, meaning you get more information from that one. Say it's like 50% information, but if you don't kill him, you know, stealthy, you don't get much of an interrogation. You might just pick up a note, 25% investigation or whatever to get to your target. This is a random thing I just came up with right now, but that's a really fucking cool idea. Jesus Christ, that's really fucking cool. I might have to just jot that down somewhere, because I'm actually really proud of that. But, you know, black box missions need to be less restricting, I think, in Assassin's Creed Empire. I think, you know, we need to take what they did right in Unity and Syndicate, but push it. We need to push it more. We need to look at other franchises like Hitman and think, how can we make this better? How can we improve this for the next game, and how can we make it more fun for players to take out their target, and how can you change things up, because you want replayability. The thing is with Syndicate, there's not really replayability because the game tells you what to do, whereas things like Assassin's Creed 1, you can play that as many times as you want, because you can go at those assassinations however the hell you want to. I think Assassin's Creed 2 holds your hand a lot more. Assassin's Creed 3, you kill all of your targets in cutscenes. Brother Revelation's very similar to 2. I think 2 does hold your hand a little bit, but there is a lot more leeway than there was in especially Syndicate for me. Assassin's Creed 4, a lot of it is kind of... The thing is, Assassin's Creed 1 and Unity, I think, did it best in terms of assassinations, because you have someone to assassinate, you have an area, you do it how you want, whereas the other games, they try to integrate it so heavily into the story that it happens in a certain way and doesn't really give you that opportunity of free will when you do an assassination. And so I think that's something they should definitely try and bring back with Empire, is the feel of AC1 Unity kind of assassination style. However, don't do what Syndicate did and make the black boxes extremely restricting, because again, that's annoying when you're trying to play a game and it keeps telling you, do this, do this, do this, you haven't done it right. And it's like, but I don't want to do it that way, Syndicate. I don't want to. And so I think there's a lot of opportunities with black boxes, and I think Ubisoft could be going in the right direction. I think surely they'll know what's up and they know what we want. And if Ubisoft, if you are watching this, you know, just try and make it more open and free to the player. I think a consensus from all fans is less hand-holding. I think that's what we all want. Less hand-holding, more freedom, more let the player choose. I think that's what we want, and as long as you do that, I think we'll be happy with whatever the outcome is of the assassinations in the next Assassin's Creed game, and I really, really hope that that's the direction that they end up taking. So thank you guys for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to smack that like button, because that'd be absolutely amazing. Comment down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys thought, and subscribe if you are new for the newest Assassin's Creed content, gameplays, all that good stuff, keeping you guys up to date on the Ezio collection. Do not forget, I will be let's playing it, streaming it, giving you guys tutorials, different things like that, gameplay, featurettes, things. Is that the right word? I don't know. But where I'll like show off the gameplay, I'll show off, you know, graphical things like that when the game is released. And of course, I will be doing an unboxing of the collector's case around the time when the game is released. I really would appreciate it if Ubisoft would send me that. I would love you so much. I do so much for the franchise. I would suck Yves Guillemot's dick. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
And the walls kept tumbling down, raining fire from above. Great crowds charge over the hills, but the city's had enough. But if we turn and fight, does it almost feel like we will never fall? And if we unite, we can take this fight straight to the castle wall.